Hi everyone, I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to discuss a major topic, that is the manufacturing methods of fiber reinforced composites. And in these manufacturing methods, I am going to explain about the manufacturing method of pultrusion here. And this is a major topic in the subject of advanced materials, and this is my 13th lecture in the advanced materials series. So in the last lecture we have already discussed about the first two of the manufacturing methods. So these are all the list of the manufacturing methods, and we have discussed about the hand layup and spray layup, and now we are going to discuss about the pultrusion manufacturing method. So in this manufacturing method, pultrusion is a major manufacturing method which is used in the industries as well as the small scale industries also. So coming to the process, it is a process where the composites parts are manufactured by pulling the layers of fibers or fabrics, and then it is impregnated with the resin through a heated die, and thus it forms a desired cross sectional shape. So you can see it in the picture also, below picture. So generally the meaning of pultrusion means pulling a long thread or long fiber. So elongate a long fiber or thread by using some force on it in the two ends. So that is the basic meaning of the word pultrusion. So in this process we are going to pulling the parts of fibers here. So we are using reinforcements as fibers or fabrics, and this is dipped in the resin and it is called as resin bath, and then it is heated, sent to a heating die, and thus forms a cross sectional shape. So this is the pattern we are going to do. And in this pultrusion process, it is an automated highly productive process which obtains the fabrication of polymer matrix composites in the form of continuous long products of constant cross section. So in the earlier video we have discussed about the hand layup and spray up methods. So that hand layup and spray up methods are mass production type. So there is no continuous flow of objects. So when we finished the product, we is going to remove the product from the mold, and then we are going to do another product in the mold. So that is the pattern there. But in the pultrusion process, it is a continuous process. So continuous production is available in this type of manufacturing method. So in this picture you can see the fiber creels there. So fiber creels means a roving is arranged in the vertical manner there. So and the fiber creels are surrounded by the rollings, and it is sent to the guide plate there. So which uniforms and combined all these fiber creels into a single thread, and through the rollers then it is sent to the resin bath, which is seen in the red color there. So which is like a bathtub. So that is sent to the resin bath, and the resin is impregnated means applying on the surface of the fiber. So that is the meaning of impregnated. So it is impregnated through the fiber rolls there from the resin bath, and it is sent to the preformer there. So preformer means it is sent through narrowly, and then it is sent to the curing die, forming and curing die, and then it is sent to the pulling system where it can be elongated in the desired length and desired thickness. Then there is a cutoff saw which cuts the desired purpose of length of the fiber creels. So this is the basic process of the pultrusion. So from the starting of the process there is a fiber creel, and at the end of the there is also a fiber creel, but it is dissolved and impregnated by the resin baths and other shapes, which is the cross sectional shape here. Then it is the process slide. So first of all, reinforced fibers are pulled from the creels, that is called the rovings here. So these fiber creels may be followed by rolling mat or fiber creels. Pulling action is controlled by the this pulling system. So then there we can apply some load on it, and pulling load is already given to the machine. Then these guide plates collects the fibers into a bundle and direct it to the resin bath. Then it is sent to the resin bath, which is in the form of a bundle. Then these fibers enters the resin bath, where they are wetted and impregnated into the liquid resin. Wet means some type of some moisture is in the surface of the fibers, and that is the liquid resin. So this liquid resin contains thermosetting polymers and the pigments, fillers, catalysts and other additives. Then the wet fibers exit the bath and enter preformer, where the excessive resin is squeezed out from the fibers and the material is shaped. So this material is shaped by after curing of the resin bath. So there is a special die for the cross sectional shape. So depending upon the purpose of the industrial shape, we are using these dies of different shapes. And the preformed fiber pass through the heated die, where the final cross section dimensions are determined and the resin curing occurs. So after the resin curing, the final cutting is done by the saws. So cutting saws. So let's see what are the characteristics of the pultrusion, some of the characteristics of the pultrusion here. So first one is the high productivity. So in the in this process high productivity occurs where this is a continuous process. So pultrusion is a continuous process, so we can obtain this high productivity. Then the process parameters are easily controllable. So the process is simple. So taking a fiber and combine different types of fibers there, and then send it to the resin bath, and then it is cured and cutting into a purposed shapes or lengths. So this is the simple process there. So the process parameters are easily controllable there. Next, low manual labor component. So manual component are lessly used in this type of process. Only machines can be done, and a pull-off saw can be used. Precise cross-section dimensions of the products. So we can obtain sharp cross-sectional dimensions by using complex dies. So based upon the dies used, we can obtain precise cross-section dimensions of the products. Next, good surface quality of the products. So there we can obtain good surface finish also, good surface quality of the products by using these resins. Next, homogeneous distribution and high concentration of the reinforced fibers in the materials is achieved. So up to 80% of the reinforcement are rovings, so the fiber rovings, and up to 50% of the mixed with mat plus roving reinforcement. So in the 80%, 50% is the mixed mat plus roving reinforcement. Then pultrusion is used for fabrication of fiberglass and carbon fiber reinforced polymer composites. And next, Kevlar is the material used in the fiber reinforced polymers. So it is also known as aramid fibers. So these are the basic characteristics of the pultrusion method. Next we can see about the manufacturing process of pultrusion. So first of all, fibers are brought together over rollers and then it is dipped in the resin and then it is drawn through a heated die. So which you can see in the bottom picture. So a coated fiber is formed in the forming guides and then it is preheated and sent to a heating die which is drawn means pulling from the two ends. A continuous cross section composite parts emerged on the other side. So after cooling or curing, then it is pulled by the rollers of desired cross section and then it is cut off by the cut off saw. Then it is cut off by the cut off saw. In the upper picture you can see the heating die and the resin tank. So there you can see the H symbol there. So that is the die used there. So H is the desired die they can use it there. So a filament from the filament spool, for these fibers are arranged to and sent into the resin tank which is dipped by the resin on the topmost surface of the fibers and this resin is attached and then sent to the heated die, then it is sent to the composite section. So in the cooling section you can see the cooling it in the both ways after the heating die is heated. So when from coming the heating die, it is somewhat in the wet process and the heating is done in the die and after that it is cured by applying some cooling on it. So some cooling is applied on the resin coated fiber and then it is sent to the desired rollers which is converting it into the desired thickness and then it is cut by the cut off saw. So this is the basic production of constant cross section profiles. So where you can see the entire process in a single picture. So there on the left side top corner you can see the rovings there. So different kinds of rovings are observed in multiple layers there. So there are about 5 layers there. So different kinds of rovings are attached and it is stand up into a continuous strand mat and then it is sent to the guide plate where these rovings are all combined to form a single thread and then it is sent to the resin impregnator. Resin impregnator means through the resin bath and then it comes from the resin bath and sent to the surfacing wheel which checks the surface of the fiber which is fully immersed in the resin or not. Then it is sent to the preformer of the heating die and then it is sent and is entered to the forming and curing die. So after the curing die it is cooled and then cooking sent to the pulling system where the produced fibers are pulled in a cross sectional area and then it is cutted by a cut off saw of desired length. So there you can see the caterpillar pullers there. So the pullers here used is known as caterpillar pullers or reciprocating pullers. So reciprocating means moving in a straight way, that is in a linear path. So that is known as reciprocating pullers. So there you can observe the reciprocating pullers there and these are also known as caterpillar pullers. So in this picture you can see the all the production work of the pultrusion method. Next is the basic design of the pultrusion process. So in the basic design, the hollow parts can be made by using a mandrel that extends out the existing side of the die. So there is an existing die, there is an existing side in the mandrel side, and these variable cross section parts are possible using dies with sliding parts. So they here using the sliding parts here. So this is all in the production of linear path only, so they are using these sliding parts. But there are two main types of dies are used here. First one is the fixed die, second one is the floating die. So what is the purpose of fixed and floating dies? So these fixed dies can generate a large forces to the wet fiber which is immersed in the and impregnated in the resin bath. But the floating dies requires an external power source to create the hydraulic forces in the resin. So that is the basic difference between the fixed die and the floating die. So fixed dies are used for the large forces on the wet fiber, but the floating die requires some external power source to the hydraulic forces in the resin. Next, there we can use the multiple dies which are used when curing is to be done by the heating dies. So there you can see the different types of dies there. So first one is the fiber rovings, and then it is sent to the resin tank, then to the preforming die. Next one is the curing die. So two types of dies are used here. First one is the preforming die and second one is the curing die. So in the curing die, there are used cooling. So cooling temperature is used in the curing die, and in the preformed die, heating temperature is used. And next it goes to the pullers, where pullers or rollers, where we can elongate these produced fibers here. So this is the basic design where we can use two types of dies, that is the fixed and floating dies. Next, coming to the design, there exists very low scrap in this type of method. So there is no waste produced in this type of methods. So we are cutting the accurate length of by using a cutting saw, and no waste is produced in this method. So up to 90% of the materials are utilized in this layup. So there is very low scrap. Next, rollers are used to ensure proper resin impregnation of the fiber. So when we are rolled on the pure fiber material, it gets some cracks on it, but when we are rolling on the impregnation fiber, it gets some smooth surface onto the roller. So that is the basic difference between the two. And the materials forms can also be used at the inlet of the die, where the materials are mats, woven cloths or stitched material is used. So these are the three materials used in the material forms of the inlet to the dies. Next, for curing, tunnel ovals can be used. So you also know about the tunnels there. So tunnels means opening on the two sides or two ends. So opening on the two ends but closed on the upper part and the lower part of the layer. So that is called a tunnel. So we have seen it in the outside the railway tunnels. So that is the basic idea of the tunnel ovens here. So after the general ovens consists of only one opening. So one opening on the door side, but these tunnel ovals get two openings there. So one on the starting side, one on the ending side. So after the part is completed and is formed and gelled in the die, it emerges and enters a tunnel oven where curing is completed. So in the tunnel oven, the curing is done. That is the basic purpose of using a tunnel oven here. So because it is a continuous process. So coming to the handle process or spray layout, there we cannot use the tunnel ovens here because there are not a continuous production. That is a mass production there. So another method is the process runs intermittently with the sections emerged from the die and the pulling is stopped. Splitting dies are brought up to the sections to cure it. So different types of dies can be used. So in the last slide we have already discussed about the fixed die and the floating die. So these are the split dies they are used and brought up to the sections to cure it. They then retract and pulling is continued. So generally the typical length for curing are 6 inches to 24 inches. So that is the basic length for using the curing of typical length. So next one is the materials and processing of pultrusion method. Next one is the materials. So there are two types of materials used. First one is the matrix and second one is the reinforcement here. So first one is the reinforcements. So the mostly used fibers. So fibers are the reinforcements used in the pultrusion process. So carbon, glass and aramids. So these three materials are these three fibers are mostly used fibers in the pultrusion process. Coming to the matrix phase, so the highly used resins are polyester resin and the epoxy resin. So why we are calling these resin as the matrix form means, so we are using it in the polymer matrix composites. So in the polymer matrix composites, a gel or liquid base is considered as the matrix. So these resins are in the matrix phase. So the different types of resins are studied in the earlier classes, which is in the polymer matrix composites. In that polymer matrix composites, the highly used resins are these polyesters and the epoxies. So epoxy means a gel type which is used to stitch two layers, and the polyester means plastic, that is the PVC, polyvinyl chlorides, and these are all comes under these polyesters. So next one is the processing of pultrusion. So different processing methods and different processing standards are considered in this processing method. So first one is the speed of the method. So what is the speed of the fiber sent to each and every part, that is the each and every point, that is the speed controller. So 0.6 to 1 meter per minute. So it is a very slow process. So 1 minute per 1 meter per minute means it is a very slow process. And thickness is 1 to 76 mm. So the generally used thickness of the fiber is 1 to 76 mm. So 1 means 1 to 10 mm means it is a very thin part, but 76 mm means it is a large thick part. Then the diameter is 3 mm to 150 mm. So the generally used diameters for the fiber cross sectional area are 3 mm to 150 mm. Next, double clamps or belts or chains can be used to pull the part throughout. So double clamps means fixed on the two ends, or belts or chains can be used to pull the part through. So pull the fibers throughout the part. Next one is the cutting saws, types of cutting saws. So diamond or carbide saws are used to cut sections of the final part. The saw is designed to track the part as it moves. So these diamond saws or carbide saws are mainly used, but in the industries carbide saws are mainly used to cut the sections of desired shapes. So that is the accurate shapes and rough sections. And the designed section saw is designed to track the part as it moves. Then it is sent to the designed part. Last one is these parts have good axial properties. So good axial properties have been used in these cutting saws. So these are the processing parts, that is the speed, thickness, and diameter of the fiber, and what are the parts used to pull the fibers, and what are the materials used in the saws, what are the different types of cutting saws used in these sections for the final part. So these are the processing techniques there. So next slide is about the advantages and disadvantages of pultrusion method. So first we are going to draw the positives, that is the advantages. So first one is the good material usage compared to layups. So that is each and every part of the material has been kindly used in this method compared to the layup. So in the layup some material have been wasted there. Next, high throughput and high resin contents are possible. So output and resins have been highly used and contents are possible. So contents are possible in these methods by the continuous production. So these are the positive outputs. Next, going to the negative, that is the disadvantage. Parts cross section should be uniform. So when coming from the resin bath, these cross sections have to be leveled, but before leveling it is sent to the curing day and that comes to the cooling day. So the cross sections may be varied in some parts. Second one is the fiber and resin might accumulate at the die opening, leading to increased friction causing jamming and breakage. So due to wet resins, these fibers can also damaged in some conditions, but depending upon the temperatures used in the die, this can be accumulated. Next, when excess resin used, part strength will decrease. So this is the main advantage. The disadvantage, so we have to use the limited resin there. Limited amount of resin has been used in the resin bath. When excess amount is used in the resin bath, the chemical parts used in the part strength will decrease the properties of the fiber. Next, voids can result if the dyes do not conform well to the fibers being pulled. Voids means some amount of solid parts obtained in the liquid region when forming a solid solution. So these can result if the dye does not conform well to the fibers being pulled. So when we are pulling, some amount of fibers can be removed from the resin, that is తెలుగులో ఉంటామో పెచ్చుకల్లాగా లేచిపోతుంటాయి అనమాట. మనం ఎప్పుడైతే పుల్ చేస్తున్నామో ఫైబర్స్ని, చిన్న ఫైబర్ మీద ఏంటంటే సరిగ్గా అతుక్కోక రెజిన్ ఏమైందంటే పెచ్చుకల్లాగా ఊడిపోతాయి. సో దాన్ని వాయిడ్స్ అంటున్నాం. నెక్స్ట్, quick curing systems decreases the strength. So the amount in the curing systems are very less in this continuous production system. So it decreases the strength of the quicker curing systems. So these are all the different types of advantage here. So minimal kind of fibers or fabrics. So different types of fibers can be used, but it is limited to a some amount only, that is fibers or fabrics, minimum to the minimum condition only. Next, rapid processing. So the processing used here are rapid processing. Next one is the low material scrap rate. We have already studied in the earlier slides also. And next one, last one is the good quality control. So good quality control has been obtained in the process compared to the other process. So these are the advantages. Next one is the potential problem. So here it is considered as the disadvantage also. So first one is the improper fiber wet out. So we have already seen in the last slide that voids can be created in the fiber wet out, that is the improper fiber wet out. Next one is the fiber breakage. So due to due to using excess of resin, we can create these fiber breakage. So the fiber is dipped in this fiber resin bath and less amount can be used in this fiber resin bath. Next, inadequate cure. So curing is done in a rapid process. By giving some excess amount of curing time, it can avoid these inadequate curing. Next one is the complex die design. So complex shapes have not been observed in this pultrusion method. So that can be obtained in the hand layup and spray up method. But some desired shapes of uh, normal designs, that is the rectangular or square or circular. So these type of dies can be used in this design, but not the complex die design. Last one is the die jamming. So die jamming means when it is used in the curing, it is jammed at sometimes where the temperature is reduced or increased. So that is the die jamming process. Next, last one is the applications of uh, pultrusion method. So applications of this pultrusion method. So first one is the panels, beams, gratings or ladders. So there we have used it in the strings used in the ladders or gratings, beams and panels. So next one is the tool handles, sky poles and kites. So the threads used in the sky poles. So that sky pole is you have seen it in the first picture, that is the top side right side corner. So that is the sky poles. You have seen it in the different countries also, that is in the London Bridge, and these are all the sky poles. And latest we are building a sky pole in the Hyderabad also recently. So that can be built by using different types of threads there, strength threads. Next one is the electric insulators and enclosures. So these electric insulators can be used in the different types of electrical uses. So you can see it in the blue color picture. So these are the different types of electrical insulators and enclosures used in the applications of pultrusion process. And next one, light poles, handrails on roll up doors. So recently aluminum doors and different kinds of roll up doors are using in the construction of different offices and different methods. So these type of used in, so you can see it in the right side bottom picture. So that are the roll up doors or handrails which is used in the thin section. So the సో లోపల పార్ట్ మొత్తం హాలోగా ఉంటుందమ్మా, మనకి బయట మొత్తం కూడా మనకి షీట్ లాగా ఉంటుంది. సో ఇదంతా కూడా మనకి ఈ ప్లాస్టిక్ పోల్స్కి కానీ లేకపోతే వైర్స్ లోపల పెట్టుకోవడానికి కానీ లోపల సర్ఫేస్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఇట్లాంటివి యూస్ చేస్తున్నాం రోల్ అప్ డోర్స్కి కానీ. సో చూడటానికి స్ట్రెంత్గా ఉంటుంది, కాకపోతే వెయిట్ కూడా చాలా తక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. అండ్ లాస్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ ది 450 కిలోమీటర్ ఆఫ్ కేబుల్ ట్రేస్ ఇన్ ది ఛానల్ tunnel. So you can use up to 450 kilometers of cable trace in the single channel tunnel unit. So we have already discussed about the tunnel area, tunnel dies. So we can use it in the channel tunnels. So up to a length of 450 kilometers. So these are the basic applications of and basic areas of using this pultrusion process, where you can see it in the different applications. So largely used it in the sky poles, kites and tool handles there. So there you can see the different standards of strengthly occurred threads there. So threads can be used in there, that is the high strength fibers there, long high strength fibers can be used. And it is also used on the channel tunnel also, channel tunnels and electrical insulators also. So these are the basic elements which we can study in the pultrusion method. That is the basic characteristics, applications, advantages and disadvantages, basic production and design of the pultrusion. Thank you.